everybody, it's the coach, welcoming you to Madden Ultimate Team. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the Miami Dolphins. With that, let's get down to Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Welcome again, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and yes, the rain is falling now, and it is supposed to continue to fall throughout this game. So how do you think that will impact this contest?
Well, first and foremost, both quarterbacks are going to make sure the officials have those drive footballs coming in each and every play and standing over them sometimes with a towel before the center gets up there to snap it. Second thing is the focus of all the guys who handle the football. Do they wear gloves? Do they take them off? Will they carry the ball high and tight to make sure they have good ball security? That's paramount in a game like this.
So out come the Rams now for their first possession. And they will be led out by the four-time Pro Bowler and 2010 Comeback Player of the Year, and that's Michael Vick.
One of the most unique players in NFL history. You remember the snappy left-handed throw, the ability to break the play wide open with his legs. Absolutely dynamic, explosive, and rarely ever caught from behind.
And the offense readies for a first down and 10. A first down throw coming from Vick. Dumps it off to Gurley. Gets by him, and now a little daylight. The 20, 10, touchdown, Alex. Todd Gurley, 62 yards. And the Rams are going to take a first quarter lead.
That appeared like any routine NFL quarterback, but it was Michael Vick from the pocket, throws a touchdown pass. I just think about the transformation throughout his career. From Atlanta, where he would take off and go at just about the drop of a hat and turn defenses into mush. And then by the end of his career in Philadelphia, where he completed passes like we just saw from the pocket, yet still had those great legs, when necessary, to help get him out of trouble.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Pretty clean and simple there, just two plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that disrupt things a little bit, Roman. Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. That's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there's another first down run right there.
They go play action here on first down. And there he goes under pressure from the Rams defense. And Ndamukong Suh with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. with a third and still about 12 to go.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
And now they look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
On fourth down, Matt off to punt it away. Returnable now for Woodson. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Down, steps away to his left. Throw outside, complete to Moss. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. Just the first quarter of attack that is so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you, from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. I ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
First down, Vic. On target over the middle of the hill. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 1 quarter in the books. 7-0 is our score, and we'll be back to South Florida after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gordon. It's the Rams with a football to get us going, and they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Again, it's Vic. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charlie?
Yeah, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles are usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you want a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus the right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Third and long for Vic. 9 times left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Still barreling through. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain. As a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime preview. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. They do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
But, writing down your ad.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This will be the first red zone opportunity now for the Rams. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Vic to throw it. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop it before you get a good edge steam going.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. On the handoff, it's Gurley. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and that will set up 1st and goal.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run. Had the feel of and imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. That drive a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Carlson now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll line up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe the Dolphin got going a little early.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming to this play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And he hits his target, it's Ken Stills. Now before the 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. As they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 1st half. Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. He finds the open, past the 40. Wide open receiver, complete. And now before the minutes to go in half number one. On first down, Tannehill. These guys handle the crossing route. Touchdown. A.J. Derby, 59 yards. And the Dolphins able to get this back within a touchdown. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. Remember when we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room, distance a blanket, take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football will have to be played. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
There's Michael Vick. First down to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And it goes down. Robert Quinn able to get in there and drop it for a 2-yard loss. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a second down and 12. Vick goes play action. Is it a fire one deep over? Well, that's caught inside the 35. And he's in for the touchdown. The final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the third quarter?
Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We want to remind you that new this year in regular season games, I'll take you around the NFL, give you stats and scores for games in progress, as well as look back at games that have already been completed. So keep an eye out for that. But for now, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Gurley again here on first down. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know, just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. By him at the 25. That might run right through it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the fourth overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watched tape with him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses. Those exact type of runs.
Touchdown Rams. Todd Gurley, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Rams add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock too in a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Carlson down to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Carlson now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Here's Ryan Tannehill and the Dolphin offense back out onto the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader. Making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. Don't like that.
I just want you to know that you agree with me. That's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched. Respect. On 2nd and 10, Tannehill. Escobar over the middle. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
He's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A Dolphin first down as Tannehill is on target to the former Patriot Danny Amendola.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, the receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree. One thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. I think we just saw that there.
We saw that indeed, picking up the first. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to the air, Tannehill on second down. And the ball comes loose. And now the Rams have got it. Go the other way.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth
Yeah, you'd say
quarter.
an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, getting a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
On first down, it's Gurley. Able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. A strong running. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the off season. This is why you have those OTAs and minicamps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And they'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Tackle made there by Kiko Alonso.
I have to chuckle with myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. You got control of this thing. Get it behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Now on second down, this is Gurley. Good move by Gurley. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense, because a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On first and goal, Gurley. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Todd Gurley, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Rams add on to their lead.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because it certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You can see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Carlson on for the PAT. extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Carlson now to kick this one away. Let's feel it a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
And the Reds got it. They bring him down. Reggie White. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield. They got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
He dumps it off to Dre. And down he'll go at the 25. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. The Dolphins on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now the gun, Tannehill. Had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone.
Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
It's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Williams. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. The defensive end, Cameron Wake, brings him down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time, or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open air boom, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years.